Gemini, outward intelligence sign. Welcome to my channel. Today we're doing a reading concerning the new moon, this lunar cycle that runs from new moon to new moon beginning tomorrow, the 11th of February, and ending on the 13th of March. I use the sidereal zodiac, and if you want to look up what that means to you or shoot me an email, we can explore it a little further. But I am one who believes that the messages that come to you are the ones that are meant for you. This particular new moon will be falling in your sidereal 8th house. This is significant. There's a stellium of 7 planets in that 8th house of Capricorn, in the sidereal telling of it. In the Gregorian, it's the Aquarian house. But this house in your life symbolizes merging, sex, intimacy, shared finances, and inheritances. Sorry about that. Taxes, loans. Could be property and joint ventures, goals, mystery, and kind of your partner's resources. So things held in common. That could apply to a lot of things. Could be your country. Could be your house, could be your lover. Here we have one cut for the goddess, another integration here, and one more. And then I just like to take the one that's right off the top. And this one is Weasel, 33. This is an animal totem for me personally, so I really like this story. This small and heart-opened creature was able to inform Native Americans that the colonizers were coming, very tearfully told them about their weapons and what they were facing. This is, in my mind, prophecy and the burdens that come with it. This creature, very small, very intuitive, touching everything with whiskers and feet, also can be a very joyous creature. But there's some seriousness that goes on with the capabilities of this particular animal totem. And stealth, being able to invade the enemy camp, find out without being seen what might be going on there, and report back to the people, to the community, to the tribe. And then behind it, we have the cleansing of frog. This is the watery element, perhaps in this case, the tears of knowing the truth. I get the sense that you have an intuitive flow here that is clearing. Perhaps for you, the doors of perception are being cleansed in one way or another. Maybe you're finding your way forward with a form of purification. Maybe you're seeing with new eyes. But this is a card of seeing. So, and this is a card of cleansing. They go well together. The overall feeling that I get from the thing is moving out of denial and into reality. I think that's happening for all of us with that giant stellium going on in your house of community. I'd like to do a Celtic cross spread for you here with the traditional Rider WAITE. Excuse me, I'm looking for a signifier. And it looks like we had one. interesting to use an ace, but here we have the Ace of Cups for you. This is a new beginning emotionally. Interesting, because this emotional cleansing, cleansing perception, and then more water moving through with the Ace of Cups. This is maybe new feelings, or I want to say, because of your frog card, purified feelings, new spirituality, new intuition, connection, a new way of being. You're covered by the Hermit. Love this card. This is one of those very me cards. It's self-reference, internal permission. You can only have and give permission to yourself for your own choices. You're the only one who can approve of your choices emotionally, spiritually, moving forward in a new way with these perceptions that you've cleansed. What crosses you here is strength. She is an interesting character. She has mastered, I'm excited, right? Because you have two major arcana cards here that are in conflict with each other, and that's very fruitful. It's always very fertile. So here we have strength, and when she's turned on her side, I read it as if it's an inversion or a reversal. So I see, instead of bravery and compassion and strength, obviously, and focus, I see that as more of self-doubt and weakness and insecurity, which is not surprising, because if you're going through all this perceptive cleansing and you're coming out of denial, you're gonna feel vulnerable, and that's a bit of a vulnerable card. It looks like your self-referencing, or your inner voice, the voice of your spirit, is vulnerable at this point. Maybe it's new. Maybe it's new. The outcome is a new way of thinking. So that's very hopeful. The aces always represent new beginnings, and this particular new beginning is a breakthrough in clarity, a sharp mind, and a revelation. To combat this self-doubt, it looks like something comes and moves you away from self-doubting and vulnerability, weakness, and fear. Your foundation is the King of Emotion. The King of Cups has mastered the emotional content of his life. He's in control, balanced, aligned with heart and head. His suit represents creativity and intuition, and he can move forward from this doubt, this self-questioning, this reversal of strength, this weakness, into strength. But emotional intelligence, not just brute strength or outward strength, but outward intelligence, right? It basically calls your sign into being. And there's all these kind of pillars, right, through here. They look pillar-like to me. He's got a cup in one hand and a staff in the other. Very interesting. You're moving away from the mastery of matter. It looks like you've done all you can in terms of prosperity and material gain, in terms of legacy, inheritance, and just general culmination. So whatever may be culminating in your life in matter could be represented by this card, because here we have, right, thought, emotion, matter. So maybe that's what's matured here, and you're moving into a new realm. Excitement, creativity, exploration. Very young, very new creativity and exploration. This is a brand new way of looking at life and interacting with life and moving forward in your life. This is freedom. You know, this is the courage and faith that you lacked here, but it's so young that, you know, you're building on it. It's a new beginning in this. You have quite a bit of material resources behind you to make this new journey into the cleansing of perception. And for Gemini, I can't overstate how much I think this is your curiosity. You're deeply diving into some subject. It could be emotional, it could be mental, it could be some new form of exploration. In this moment, you are the King of Swords. You are the king of thought. You are the king of mental exploration. You have mastered 2 suits in this. You have mastered the prosperity, and you have a new or a breakthrough in thought and beginning in thought, a brand new way of being with that. And right now, as it sits, you are using your head over your heart to move yourself out of a position of lacking heart. Move yourself forward into a way of discipline, of truth, of justice. That's exciting for you, that you seem to enjoy. It's cleansing for you. You had to maneuver a bit, maybe, to get there. All around you are the emotions that you're leaving behind. This cleansing, it's bringing you into, I love this movement toward the east, right? I mean, you can see this red-cloaked figure is retreating. He's moving in a new way, in a new direction in the Eight of Cups. He's walking away. He's tried everything that's in those cups, and he has found that there's nothing in it for him. And it looks to me, because of this reading, the way this reading is, that you've tried everything in the material cup. You want something in the creative cup. You want a new beginning, a new way of thinking. That's exciting and exploratory. And maybe you have to get into the enemy camp to find this thing. Maybe you need to shed some of your old ways of thinking, come into a new way of thinking in order to move on. Your hopes and fears are a celebration. You hope and are afraid of, at the same time, that you will be able to find friendship, find a new community, and ultimately find happiness and joy by cleansing the doors of your perception, a breakthrough thought, a new way of being that's more from your heart and more self-referenced. But it's worrisome because it's not as solid as the material world. It's vulnerable for you. Looks like you get there, though. Very nice. The 10 of Cups, emotional contentment, fulfillment. It looks like if you're willing to undertake this journey that makes you vulnerable, knowing that your emotional foundation is solid, knowing that your self-reference is flowing, is moving, is cleansing itself, is coming to greater realization. It's smart. You tried all the other stuff. You tried fitting your emotions into matter, and it's not working. So you need to fit your emotions into emotion. You need to fit your emotions into joy. You need to fit your emotions into fulfillment in whatever feels more like home to you. That's not something a reading can tell you. That's something you'll have to figure out on your own. But the foundation of this, the motivating force, the reason all of this is happening is because you're not a very happy person right now. It seems like those swords are keeping you up at night, these thoughts. I mean, it's happening to all of us. But you're having anxiety or hopelessness around some sort of trauma that you want to move away from. And it looks like you're going to get a new idea that's going to let you do it. It looks like you're going to move from having your faith into what you can taste, touch, smell, hear, and see, and move more into a state that you maybe have to work a little harder at the perception. You maybe have to move out of denial a little bit, but it's going to be worth it. There's going to be some discomfort. No two ways about it. All change will bring that into your life. Looks like it might be worth doing. One more oracle from the Golden Thread Tarot. Love touching these cards. Just think they're absolutely beautiful. These are available on labyrinthos.com. And they're just really beautiful to work with. I really enjoy them. And they have provided my personal spread, my personal divination with a lot of insight, and have been very helpful to these readings coming to pass. A moment of vulnerability that I see and respect. For Gemini, Sun, and Moon sign, let's do 3 integrations for the goddess here. 3. Finally. The Ten of Pentacles. That's amazing. So, you got it twice. I mean, you have mastered this. Somehow, the material world is no longer difficult for you. And you may have to, I mean, that's a really strange statement. The material world is difficult for all of us in one way or another. But legacy, culmination, like understanding the value of the material world is something that you've already come to. You seem to have, or will be getting with this new thought, this new way of being, an appreciation for the material world that brings you to gratitude, to open-heartedness, that lets you move out of the Nine of Swords and into a new way of being. The slow-moving Knight of Pentacles. Slow but steady wins the race. The work gets done slowly, but it gets done. A master of completion. And there's a lot of completion in this reading. There's a lot of culmination in this reading. Don't worry about your vulnerability quite so much. It's definitely a form of cleansing. And when we shed our skins, it's a vulnerable time. We can't see well. Everything feels itchy and uncomfortable. But in the end, plodding along, keep moving forward, it's going to yield some beautiful culmination for you and a breakthrough. You're headed into an exciting new adventure. Enjoy that, Gemini. I know you will.